This week, Celine Dion revealed she has stiff person syndrome, which causes sudden severe muscle spasms. The condition is forcing her to cancel or postpone a series of upcoming concert dates. I spoke with Dr. Ethan Meltzer from Dell Medical School to learn more. So we know that this condition impacts the central nervous system. What are the symptoms? What are the symptoms that people need to look out for? It's so rare.
Yeah, it is a rare condition. I would say that the most common symptoms are going to be stiffness, and that involves the muscles typically of the core. So that would mean the back or the abdomen, as well as the extremities, the arms and the legs. And with this stiffness, it can actually cause painful spasms and can even impede somebody's ability to walk.
And do we know what causes this? What are the risk factors?
We don't really know what causes it. Now, I will tell you that we do think it's an autoimmune disorder. And by that, I mean the body's immune system is triggering a response that's inappropriate, that is attacking or targeting one's own body, and in this case, the brain or spinal cord. Now, there can be some association, although it's not very common at all, with other autoimmune disorders, such as type 1 diabetes, but it's not something that we think of that is brought on, for example, by somebody's lifestyle or necessarily an identifiable trigger.
Okay, and it's an incurable disorder. What are the treatments? If someone's family member was impacted by this, what type of care could they give to their loved one?
So you're right, it is a chronic disease. There isn't a cure that we know of, although there are many diseases that are chronic, just like high blood pressure, for example. So the most common treatments are really two different types. One would be to manage the symptoms. And so when the muscles are stiff or are causing spasms, the first line treatment is really muscle relaxants. And so these are things that help to loosen the muscles that can really improve pain, can help improve walking, and really helps to limit disability. However, there can be cases that are more severe. And in those situations, we tend to give medications that might suppress or modulate the immune system. As I said, we think it's an autoimmune disorder. And so if we target the immune system, we decrease some of this inflammation, and that can lead to some symptom improvement.
Okay, and how long do these symptoms typically last? I think of someone with MS, they might have a flare up. Is that the same type of situation here?
Yeah, that's a great question. So it's a little bit mixed in that there can be symptoms that are just chronic, that are there maybe throughout the whole day, but there can definitely be flare-ups where someone might experience more painful spasms, and those can be brought on. Sometimes there's not a reason, but sometimes, times of stress, or if somebody gets ill otherwise, there can definitely be these flares of muscle tightness that can be quite painful and disabling.